afternoon, good evening, and good night. Welcome back to Abstract Medicine. I hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to be doing a collective reading for all of you, and to be honest with you, it's going to land for you if you feel called to click on this video. So I don't think I'm going to be promoting this video as much because I feel like those who know need to know. So what I'm saying is, if you've clicked on this video, then there's a message that's important for you. I don't think I'll be promoting it on Instagram. So this is going to be a general collective read for the collective. We're going to be channeling Jesus Christ of Nazareth, and we might have a look at the Book of Enoch possibly, but I'd like to first of all start with a prayer and a blessing for all of you. And I'm going to share something with you, not in grand detail, but I will share something with you. I just saw 133 on the timer, which makes a lot of sense to me. But I will say that I've been tested recently by spirit. Well, not by spirit, but I've been tested and tempted. And the test was a test of forgiveness. And I have prayed last night and said, in all honesty, to my Saviour, my Father, who is in the kingdom of heaven, my God, to ask for my forgiveness for I had strayed. I strayed by failing to forgive someone who, even though their attempts were little and small, their attempts to ask for my forgiveness was still an attempt. So I prayed last night and I said thank you, Spirit, for giving me the opportunity to forgive this person and to find closure once and for all, so that I'm able now to move on. And I'm telling you, it wasn't easy for many months for me. It just wasn't easy for me. And yesterday it just kind of fell in my lap that I get to forgive, and it's an opportunity to forgive. So my prayer to you, everyone, is to find an opportunity to forgive. Of course, not to forget the lesson, but to forgive what has happened for you, and to pray for those souls who have hurt you, because I'm feeling this prayer of forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Now, we are in an age right now where there is great change, spiritually speaking. There is a lot happening behind the scenes that a lot of you may not necessarily be aware of, but that I have been talking about for the last few years, and it is a spiritual battle between good and evil. And there is going to be a second coming. There is going to be a second coming. You heard that right. We are now living in prophetic times. Okay, so I'm already starting to channel Jesus Christ energy, so I'm going to tune in. I'm going to tune in. Jesus Christ of Nazareth, how may I help and serve them? Okay, so the first thing he's saying is, it's so apt that I'm wearing a white robe. I'm wearing my white robe. Okay, so at the time of this reading, for those of you wanting to know, it's 7 a.m. in the morning. I really felt called to do a reading this early this morning, without any, just unfiltered, without any kind of distractions in my mind. So yes, that's the first thing. Okay, so he says to go straight towards his deck. There's a deck that Amanda Ellis has just published, and I would love to purchase it, acquire it, so that I'm able to also channel and use that deck and see what comes through. But this deck too is true. The deck is by Doreen Virtue, and Greg Olson is the artist. Okay, so let's have a look. It's also a collaboration with her son. Okay, I'm being called to a book, so I'm just going to pick up the book. Okay, so the book that was calling my attention is The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. So I'm going to be reading that. I'm going to be reading a passage from the book. Oh, the other thing is it is a moon change at this time. I believe it's a new moon in Cancer, and they've, you know, Spirit has maybe been asking you, how has it been affecting you? This new moon in Cancer, how has it been affecting you? How have your dreams been? You know, Cancer is also about, the sign of Cancer, zodiacal sign of Cancer, is also about looking at the shadow and the mother, possibly. So I spent this weekend praying and meditating and researching a lot about Mary Magdalene, and I've had an interesting experience with that, spiritually speaking, which I won't necessarily share because it's not necessary that you need to know, but that's been coming up for me. So facing your shadow, I mean, genuinely, like looking at the thing that you fear the most. And what is being asked for me to share with you is that I get the Cancer energy of the full moon and the new moon energy is, the last 2 weeks, there has been suppressed emotion, and it's related to innocence in childhood and animals and people who do great harm on children, who do terrible things to children. These are people who you idolize. These are people who do great harm on children, and we have to look at that darkness sometimes in order to see that we're not led astray. We have to look at the shadow. We have to look at the great harm that is being inflicted on children at this time. The crimes against humanity are happening right now against children, right now. People who we look up to in social media, in film, our heroes, in politics, all of them have signed a contract to do great evil. Sorry, I can't channel this without giving me strength. To do great evil so that they may have power and dominion over us. And it's all part of the illusion, everyone. Everyone, it's all part of the illusion, what's going on right now. And it's happened before. And we have only but a window of time, I'm hearing, in order to rectify it and to save our souls, essentially. Now, I am not a religious person. I'm not a biblical person, let's say, in a way that I'm not here to Bible bash, let's say. But neither I am someone who prays to the prince of this world. The prince of this world is Satan, and I do not acknowledge him. The sanctity of marriage is also being corrupted. I almost want to say I apologise for crying, but I'm not going to apologise, because it comes from a pure place. Heal the sick that are therein, and say unto them, the kingdom of God is come nigh unto you. Okay, beautiful card. If you want to take a screenshot of that and maybe have it as a phone, say screensaver, you can do that too. If you know of a Mary Magdalene deck, Mary Magdalene Oracle deck, please do let me know, and I will be able to purchase it so that I can share the message from her, with using the cards to the collective. Okay. So heal the sick that are therein, and say unto them, the kingdom of God is come nigh unto you. Luke 10, verse 9. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is, you know, we have Jesus here. You may call him Isa, you may call him Yeshua, you may call him Jeshua, whatever feels right for you. Okay. Sometimes I call him JC. But we have him healing a child, and I did speak about that, about healing the innocence. Now, there is a lot of corruption. I will not talk about it, but if you are wanting to inquire about this great evil that is taking place on this earth right here, right now, in order to work with evil, unclean spirits, there are things that are going on right now where whatever you are doing for strength and power and fame and wealth and invincibility, and kind of doing whatever you want without feeling like there's going to be any consequence, you will be paying for that. And what I mean to say by that is, if you are giving away your integrity, if you are turning a blind eye to certain things that are evil, if you're not here to heal the sick and work for, even work in your own, on your own path, whereby you share your gifts to the world, you're also denying yourself. You have another chance to do that. You have another chance, but not many. We don't have much time. So please live your truth. Share your gifts to the world. A lot of you are healers as well. And you get to heal the world, heal children, heal people. I am the good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. John 10, verse 11. And this is what our Saviour has done the first time around, believing truly in his heart that by giving his life away was the way to bring the way to us all, to heal us all from sin and pain and disaster. But what has happened is that we've all collectively strayed from the path. Some of us, very few of us, still believe in him and believe in the innocence of mankind and restoring that innocence. And the greatest love that anyone can give to the world is compassion and sacrifice, because you would know that this life is very short, but the life of the eternal, the life of the afterlife is very, very long. Okay, I know I'm finding it quite difficult to read today, because I don't want to shock you either, but just bear with me, okay? So the cards that I have here as well are the oracle cards of the Vera Sibilla. He's going to come back, not just energetically, but he is coming back because the prince of this world has taken up a lot of space on this planet, because we have looked to the prince of this world, as in Satan, to find comfort, find power, find salvation. Whereas the word of Jesus has now become a curse word. The good has turned into bad and the bad has turned into good. There is perversion, there is great perversion happening on this planet at this time. I'm channeling right now. And we get to heal the sick. We get to heal and be there for innocent children, particularly as adults, where we are an example to many. Because remember that you yourself were also a child. And you still have the innocence within you. And if you have strayed, ask for his, repent and ask for his forgiveness first. Okay. The other thing that he's asking me to share with you is a prayer that I had last night, where This has been coming up for me the last 2-3 days up to the new moon in Cancer sort of shift, which was this realization, also with my therapist as well. I have a psychological therapist too. That I too have strayed and I have committed sin. And that sin was by being with a married man. And even though this person is in separation from their wife and is in the process of divorcing, and it's been 3 years of that, and they live separate lives, it doesn't matter. They're still under contract. And I was in a relationship with someone who was still technically married. And I know that seems so petty to a lot of you. Well, technically they were in separation. Technically, well, the thing is that there is a law that, and a contract and an oath that they had made to each other when they married each other. And no matter what anyone can say, this person had committed adultery, and I was also part of that. And I had borne the brunt of my actions to be with this person. And so a lot of you may have known that over the last few months, not the last few months, but over the winter period, I went through a real death cycle, and it was a consequence of that action that I had taken. And I'm not telling myself off, I'm not giving myself a hard time, I'm just saying that every action has a positive or negative reaction. Everything that you do has an effect. Every choice that you make, every thought that turns to an action has a consequence. And I was putting myself in a position where I didn't quite honor myself in allowing myself to be in a relationship with someone who was truly unconditionally there for me. This person recently has asked for hasn't asked for it, but they apologized. And it doesn't mean to say that, you know, if that happens to you, you get to be with them again. Now, I'm talking about a twin flame dynamic, by the way. So I was with a twin flame. There was a lot of back and forth. And I'm ready to be with someone who is consistent for me. Yeah. So the cards that are coming out, we have Il Vedovo, the widower, Alegria with cheerfulness. You see what I'm talking about here? Some of you may also be entertaining two people here that you are married to. So you see, this is exactly what I was mentioning. There's been an end in a relationship or a situation or a marriage even, energetically, but this person is entertaining two women, okay? Two people. And this is usually after the wedding feast, right? So how are you yourselves as well? Now, please don't think I'm not judging you, okay? I'm just not. But how are you showing up where you put yourself low and don't honor yourself by being with someone who doesn't give you it all, doesn't honor you, you know? The letter W could be significant. The letter W, the letter C could be significant. We also have wife here, moglie. So what I'm saying again is some of you are also going to be mothers soon and will have children soon. And some of you have had the same experience that I have, that I've shared with you all today, where you are not putting yourself in the Empress energy. Other people saw it, but you may have been healing from mother wounds. Now, the new moon in Cancer does talk about the mother and also the shadow, which I spoke about. And this is exactly the energy that I spoke about. The Empress energy here with the peacock. We have La Superbia. A lot of you now are working energetically towards being more in the energy of self-acceptance, which is a big one. That you are enough. Because when you know that you are enough, you know that you're not wanting. You know? When you know that you're enough, you are not wanting, which means that now you're seeing above the precipice, now you're seeing above this wall. So you're able to see what else is out there, what other opportunities are out there. Some of you, and a lot of you, have been playing very, very small. And now Jesus and the universe, spirit in particular, are helping you to see beyond this veil of illusion. And you still can be superb and superior and regal while still being humble. Okay, I'll say that again. You can still be superb and regal and superior while still being humble. Having humility and being a good example to many. Now, there are a lot of false prophets who are opposite of the sacred. They are the profane, and they use innocent children for their means. Now, there's a film that's going to come up. The film has already been launched, and it's a film I'd like to see, and it's something that I've been very aware of the last few years. And the film is about a secret operations person called Tim Ballard, and this true story is about trafficking of children, and the person who plays the role is Jim Caviezel. They are both people of faith, and this film is being suppressed by the mainstream for a good reason. When I don't mean good, I don't mean it's for good. I mean, there's a reason why it's being suppressed by the mainstream, because a lot of you, they don't want you to know about what's going on. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Everything that I've been saying so far with regard to children is exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so I can only lead you to water. It's up to you whether you wish to drink. I'm not here to push any agenda. I'm not here to preach anything onto you. I'm just here to lead you to water. This is my mission in life. This is what I get to do here as a healer, as an artist. I get to be that example for you. And a message has been coming up with my sister, my spirit sister, is to err is human. We can make mistakes along the way sometimes, but you have to be strong not to be falling into temptation, because the prince of this world, as in Satan, is very, very clever, bringing false light, false prophets, and this is real. And when I said that we're living in a world now of prophecy, We are in prophetic times right now, which is, this is meant to all happen somehow. I do believe we're at the very end of our world right now. Let that sink in. If you have committed murder, if you have committed adultery, if you have committed the sin of the flesh, in the sense of just being with people for lust, if you have sinned against yourself by punishing yourself for making mistakes over and over again, you now have the opportunity to repent. And ask for his forgiveness. A lot of you are being in contact with Mary Magdalene and also Mother Mary. And Jesus has come to you as well. There is a reason why they have come to you. They have come to you to share the message and for you to share the message as well to others. I just saw 31 on the timer. So 31 and 31, you can't make it up. Which adds to 4 and 4. 44 is archangel energy. For those of you who have been a little worried, you are massively protected. You've been worried about sharing the message. You've been worried about being punished. Because yes, a lot of you had been persecuted in other past lifetimes for sharing the truth, particularly women. Now it's interesting because I've been really connecting with Mary Magdalene a lot recently, and I will be doing a channel with her, a channeling session with her soon. So keep your eyes out for that. But I will say that, isn't it interesting that she was portrayed as a prostitute? Isn't it interesting that she was portrayed as a harlot who succumbed to the sins of the flesh? It wasn't true. It's a lie. And we all know why that is. So that women could be suppressed. Some of you are on the defensive to really find your faith here with the soldier, with militare. Some of you are on the offensive. You've got to reprogram your mind about what the church means to you, because the church that I belong to is in heaven. The church that they have created now, and not just this church, I mean all temples now, all religions, all people in governance, they've all succumbed to the mark of the beast. It's a whole, it's all a virus, it's a whole parasitic infiltration of evil now. So it's even more important that you discern between what is good and what is evil, essentially. Because as I said before, there are many illusions here. We have friend, amica. I do see that Mary Magdalene is wanting to come in actually here. She was a good friend to Jesus. She was his companion. And a companion in those times meant wife. And we have this here, wife here. They were married. and he had turned water into wine. There was indeed one of his followers, or a couple, one including Peter, who was on the defense about this and was a little bit, let's be honest, chauvinistic about her place in their small little community. Why is it that you're favouring her over us, Jesus? You know? Please pay attention to symbols. Please pay attention to the symbols that are being pushed in the mainstream media. Also have a listen and look at what is going on in the news right now. Now, a lot of you, like myself, go through times of not tuning into the news, but it's important to look because, again, it's looking at that shadow, but also it's part of your research to see, okay, what is their agenda today? You know, what are they covering up today? It's also a very good tool for tuning in your discernment, I'm hearing, because your discernment is actually part of your spiritual gift. Let's get 3 more. Some of you are also going to be working for charity as well. Your faith is being tested at this time. And as I said, some of you are on the defense. Because you think that the church is evil, and it has become that. It has. And I do think there's going to be a major reckoning that's going to be taking place. Yeah, because there are too many pleasure seekers, gadenti. We have a lot of people who have been using his name to create wars here with the soldier. They're up to no good, and they're only up for self-pleasure, and only up for flippant fancies, just fun and drunkenness behaviour. These are not people who are on the path. These are people who are our politicians as well. They say one thing and they do another. How many times have you seen that in your government, in your world, in your country, in your state? How many times have you seen these people that aren't practicing the word, are not walking the path of integrity? Many. You've seen it many, many times, everyone. You've seen it many, many times. How many times do you need to see it so that you wake up to the fact that these people do not want us to wake up? But I'm also here as a friend to share that message with you, that you must look at the news so that you're able to discern. And to tune into your intuition here. Some of you are going to be leaving a lot of people behind the way. And I don't mean it in an evangelical way because of your faith. I mean it so that you can continue to focus on your faith. The other thing is that people will be mocking you for your faith. You'll be seeing people that will try to hurt you, will try to defame you, will try to end you, will try to cancel you on social media, online. Because you're no longer playing the game. We have priest, sacerdote. Typically this would be the King of Swords. We have la lettera, the letter. How interesting. So we have the letter, waiting, attesa, pensiero, thought, and we have Constanza. This is Mary Magdalene, by the way, because she is symbolized by her unwavering faith and her strength. She's a pillar of strength. That's really what her name means, essentially, in a nutshell. And we have Amante, and that's her just giving you a little nudge saying, yes, I was his sweetheart. So some of you are going to be, some of you have received news that you've been praying on and you've been waiting for, and that news has come. Some of you have been really in your thoughts about your faith as well. But, you know, remember, you may have also had unclean spirits within you that you've healed from. Okay, because there may have been a breakup here, and this has made you ill and sick. We have melancholia at the bottom of the deck, as well as ammalato, the sickness card. So I see that there is going to be a test on your faith once more. To err is human, yes, but you also get to be back on the path, because he sees your true potential, but you have to put action into it, and you have to see that for yourself, okay? Now, I know this reading didn't really go as I thought it would go, but that's fine. He's actually saying to pull two more. Okay, he's saying, so the letter W, the letter C, the letter W again. So WW, World War. As I said, there is a war taking place at this time, a spiritual one. We have the letter S, the letter H could be significant too. The letter F could be significant. We have F and F, double F here. We have the letter P and P. We have double P's. We have two P's, two F's, two W's here that could be significant. So you could be dealing with people with this name, with these names, also with these letters in their name. Yes, the church has been corrupted. The police force has been corrupted. The Navy, the army. But there are people also within these groups of people who are good, and they are in integrity. And we must pray for them too. We must pray for them and pray that they continue to support, heal, and protect. That's really important, because a lot of these institutions have fallen under evil here, as we know. We know this already. I'm not saying anything that's shocking to you. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you. I love this card. This card has been coming up a lot for me, actually. With God, all things are possible. And this is him, water and wine. I remember I spoke about that. Miracles can happen, you know, miracles do happen. And I also want to share this that's been poking through is, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Your faith will reward you. Your faith is being tested at this time, because a lot of us have everywhere false prophets. Okay. I'd like to look at these cards that I made. I made them a while back. I mean, they're not necessarily like amazing, but they will have messages here. So let's have a look at the message. You know, he is the true king. This is him bringing you to the kingdom of heaven. And you also are able to heal, by the way, through him. So when you invoke his name through your spiritual practice, say if you are a Reiki master, a healer, that kind of energy, like myself, and you call on his name, he will help you. If you are a channeler as well, you shouldn't be worried either. You shouldn't be worried about reading the tarot. You shouldn't be worried about channeling. You shouldn't be worried about all these things that you have a natural gift for, because when it's used in the right way and when it's used in his name, then it is good. You also have been persecuted, you know, for sharing the good word, friend, the good word, right? And this is a militare, the soldier here. So you have been under attack from other lifetimes for sharing the good word, for good deeds, for healing, for having the art of prophecy, for having healing hands. Okay, so this card came out and it says growth, nurture, connect and breathe. And we have 3 vases with flowers in them. Number 3 could be significant too. Flowers as well. We also have flowers here in this card. Look at the back here. So something is definitely blooming within you, and it's a curiosity to share, to bloom, to spring forth. You are also growing, you're maturing, you're nurturing people, particularly those of you who are women and who connect with the divine feminine. Now, the thing I'm picking up on is there is perversion with gender at this time. There is. And you get to be an example of this fell. It says pray always. I love this card. You get to be a good example of what it is to be a woman, what it is to be a wife, what it is to be a friend as a female, what it is to be female. You get to be a good example of that. And not just as an attribute, as a verb in motion. You get to connect with your fellow sisters, I'm hearing and channeling. There's also this word of breath as well. So a lot of you are also doing some breath work to help clear your energy, and this is a form of prayer. Pray to find peace, I'm hearing. With God, all things are possible. Now, there was a moment once when I went to, well, I won't say where, but I was praying, and he wants to share this with you. He wants me to share this with you. I was praying and I was focusing on his image, okay? And my soul had come out of my body and I was conscious when that happened. Okay. And it was a little bit freaky, it was a bit scary. And I had to catch my breath. But remember, with God, all things are possible. That was just through breath. This wasn't with psychedelics. This wasn't with, I was just praying, focusing on his image, and I asked for his guidance, and he showed me that it was possible, that I could spiritually extricate myself from my physical vehicle, my physical body. I came back very quickly into my body again. And he was basically, in a way, he was saying that I am him. I'm one of his. And he performed a little miracle, basically. Using me as the tool. And the reason why he did that is because I have faith in him and I know him. So maybe this has happened to you too. You cannot serve two masters. You just cannot. You cannot serve the prince of this world and him at the same time. You have to choose. And your time of repentance is near, I'm hearing. Travel, adventure. My other half went for a walk. And it says the Poseidon adventure, and there's a car here. A lot of you are actually connecting through Jesus' name, all with the help and support with Mary Magdalene, to actually come into union with your divine counterpart, by the way. I will also say that both of you are on a mission together to spread the word, okay? To empower people, to connect, to nurture, to support, to protect. You may meet this person on your travels. This person may be from another place, another country, another town. I also do see the film that I didn't say the name, but the film that I mentioned with Jim Caviezel, go and see it. If it's in a film like theatre near you, we don't say theatre in British English. Theatre is for plays. But if it's in if it's showing in your town, go and see it, because there isn't much opportunity to go and watch it at this time. Please just go and see it. I mean, I will see it too, but I also already am aware of the theme. But go and see it. You may have to travel far to go and see it. And I believe that the proceeds of your ticket go to the good. Okay? And my left ear is ringing. What else is there? Some of you may also be purchasing a vehicle to... Some of you could also be going on a pilgrimage or travelling to a sacred site, I'm hearing. We have imagine, mood board, manifest. Some of you are doing that as well, my loves. Imagine all the people. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living life in peace. Ooh, you may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us. and the world will live as one. Let's have a look at the prophet, Khalil Gibran. So 39 could be significant. I'm actually a 39, I'm age 39 right now. Yes, okay, let's have a look. Then one of the judges of the city stood forth and said, "Speak to us of crime and punishment." And he answered, saying, "It is when your spirit goes wandering upon the wind, that you alone and unguarded commit a wrong unto others and therefore unto yourself. And for that wrong committed must you knock and wait a while unheeded at the gate of the blessed. Like the ocean is your God self, it remains forever undefiled, and like the ether it lifts but the winged. Even like the sun is your God self, it knows not the ways of the mole, nor seeks it the holes of the serpent. But your God self dwells, not alone in your being, much in you is still man, and much in you is not yet man, but a shapeless pygmy that walks asleep in the mist searching for its own awakening. And of the man in you would I now speak, for it is he and not your God self, nor the pygmy in the mist, that knows crime and the punishment of crime. Oftentimes have I heard you speak of one who commits a wrong as though he were not one of you, but a stranger unto you, and an intruder upon your world. But I say that even as the holy and the righteous cannot rise beyond the highest which is in each one of you, so the wicked and the weak cannot fall lower than the lowest which is in you also. And as a single leaf turns not yellow, but with the silent knowledge of the whole tree, so the wrongdoer cannot do wrong without the hidden will of you all. Like a procession, you walk together towards your God self. You are the way and the wayfarers. And when one of you falls down, he falls for those behind him. A caution against the stumbling stone. Aye, and he falls for those ahead of him, who thought faster, who though faster and surer of foot, yet removed not the stumbling stone. And this also, though the word lie heavy upon your hearts, the murdered is not unaccountable for his own murder, and the robbed is not blameless in being robbed. The righteous is not innocent of the deeds of the wicked, and the white-handed is not clean in the doings of the felon. Yea, the guilty is oftentimes the victim of the injured, and still more often the condemned is the burden-bearer for the guiltless and unblamed. You cannot separate the just from the unjust and the good from the wicked, for they stand together before the face of the sun, even as the black thread and the white are woven together. And when the black thread breaks, the weaver shall look into the whole cloth, and he shall examine the loom also. If any of you would bring to judgment the unfaithful wife, let him also weigh the heart of her husband in scales, and measure his soul with measurements, and let him who would lash the offender look unto the spirit of the offended. And if any of you would punish in the name of righteousness, and lay the axe unto the evil tree, let him see to its roots. And verily he will find the roots of the good and the bad, the fruitful and the fruitless, all entwined together in the silent heart of the earth. And you judges who would be just, what judgment pronounce you upon him, who though honest in the flesh, yet is a thief in spirit? What penalty lay you upon him who slays in the flesh, yet is himself slain in the spirit? And how prosecute you him who in action is a deceiver and an oppressor, yet who also is aggrieved and outraged? And how shall you punish those whose remorse is already greater than their misdeeds? Is not remorse the justice which is administered by that very law which you would fain serve? Yet you cannot lay remorse upon the innocent, nor lift it from the heart of the guilty. Unbidden shall it call to the night, that men may wake and gaze upon themselves, And you who would understand justice, how shall you unless you look upon all deeds in the fullness of light? Only then shall you know that the erect and the fallen are but one man standing in twilight between the night of his pygmy self and the day of his God self, and that the cornerstone of the temple is not higher than the lowest stone in its foundation. So we had 39 to 44. These could be significant numbers, by the way. So when one falls, we all fall. We're all in this together. We're going to have a look at the book of Enoch briefly. Okay. So the chapter I'm going to be reading is chapter 81. The heavenly tablet and the mission of Enoch. And he said unto me, observe, Enoch, these heavenly tablets, and read what is written thereon, and mark every individual fact. And I observed the heavenly tablets, and read everything which was written thereon, and understood everything, and read the book of all the deeds of mankind, and of all the children of flesh, that shall be upon the earth to the remotest generations. And forthwith I blessed the great Lord, the King of glory, for ever, in that he has made all the works of the world. And I extolled the Lord because of his patience, and blessed him because of the children of men. And after that I said, blessed is the man who dies in righteousness and goodness, concerning whom there is no book of unrighteousness written, and again whom no day of judgment shall be found. And those 7 holy ones brought me and placed me on the earth before the door of my house, and said to me, declare everything to thy son Methuselah, and show to all the children that no flesh is righteous in the sight of the Lord, for he is their creator. 1 year we will leave thee with thy son, till thou givest thy last commands, that thou mayest teach thy children and record it for them, and testify to all thy children in the 2nd year. They shall take thee from their midst. Let thy heart be strong, for the good shall announce righteousness to the good. The righteous with the righteous shall rejoice, and shall offer congratulation to one another. But the sinners shall die with the sinners, and the apostate go down with the apostate. And those who practice righteousness shall die on account of the deeds of men, and be taken away on account of the doings of the godless. And in those days they ceased to speak to me, and I came to my people, blessing the Lord of the world. Pretty appropriate messages from those books, isn't it? Let's get a card from the animal angels. We have the monkey, and it says serendipity here, but I also see monkeying around, you know, just joviality, the jester. There are a lot of false prophets. Work on not judging, lest you yourself be judged. A powerful symbol of good luck, monkey represents a playful and light-hearted version of yourself. He seeks to awaken your youthful and cheerful spirit, the inner child in you. When you have all these wonderful things working for you, you can achieve anything. With God, all things are possible, and it's about connecting with your inner child. Play is also important here. There's also this card that wants to share and show itself. Brown Bear, the healer. Okay, so no surprise here. We do have a healer here who is Jesus. Mary Magdalene was also able to heal, anoint people, remove unclean spirits from other physical people's bodies. I believe she also was able to place hands and heal as well. Okay, so we have Brown Bear, the healer, Virgo energy for me, and it's the Hermit too. This is also Orso Maggiore, Ursa Major, the star constellation could be significant for you too. Reflect on your qualities of inner strength, fearlessness, and confidence in yourself, and how you can project them in your world. Okay, so I'm going to read that again. Reflect on your qualities of inner strength, fearlessness, and confidence in yourself, and how you can project them in your world. The bear is a powerful guide to support physical and emotional healing in yourself and others. The bear is also the symbol of the mother as well. So reflect on how you can heal and how your strength is also a power to heal others. We also have the healer here. For those of you who are men, you tap into your compassionate energy, which is feminine. There's also a point here that Mary Magdalene used to preach too, is that in spirit there is no gender. In spirit there is no gender. The letter M could be significant and the letter B could be significant. All right. That's all I have for you. I hope you've enjoyed this message. Please share it to people who need to hear it. If you would like a private reading or a private healing session with me, you can do that directly on the website. If you've come this far, thank you. And continue to do your good works as well out there in the world. As I said, I will not be promoting this on Instagram. If it's landed and it's arrived at the time that you need to hear it, no matter what time this was, whether it's in the future where you find this reading in the future, it's arriving at the right time, okay? Thank you so much. God bless you all. Take care. Peace, peace, peace. Bye for now.